Among the 216 men and women who came to partake in Chile's first major poker event were some of Latin America's most successful and well-known players.
Perfect, ready to start.
Including Andre Acari from Brazil and the Shark himself, Costa Rica's Humberto Brenes. 2008 World Series of Poker final table mates Dennis Phillips and Elon Schwartz both crossed the equator to play as well. But for all of them, a victory just wasn't in the cards, as they were eliminated on the first day of play. And now, 63 players remain as we move closer to awarding over $141,000 US to the champion. The chip leader right now is Colombia's Nicolas Perez, who has over 90,000 chips. But there's still a lot of talent in the field, so let's have Vanessa take a closer look at some of the top players who are still alive.
The Shark's son, Roberto Brenes, is hoping to make a splash of his own. He starts with just over 32,000 in chips. The ladies are making some noise as well. Maria Stern from Costa Rica has almost 40,000. While Argentina's Veronica de Boule begins day 2 with over 35,000. And perhaps the most dangerous player remaining, Brazil's Alex Gomez, who is in great shape with over 80,000 in chips.
And there is a look at our feature table where 26-year-old professional Alex Gomez is seated today. Earlier, he took a few moments to speak with the third member of our team, Marianela Pereira.
Thanks, Marianela, and that's the trophy that Alex and the other players are gunning for.
Well, 63 players remain, average chip stack just over 34,000, and the blinds are 600 and 1,200 right now. Action over to Alex Gomez. He's not going to bully anybody with an 8-deuce offsuit. And Jarius Aguad takes a peek at his cards. Big slick. He's got the ace-king. He's going to like that. And he's grabbing some chips, and he grabs 9,000.
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure he actually counted his chips out before that raise. It looks like he just sort of grabbed the stack that was in front of him and threw it out there. And at the blind level of 600, 1,200, a raise of 9,000 is kind of large.
Well, Lander Elman Valdez doesn't believe him. He is going to move all in there with the ace-queen. And do you like that play?
I think that Valdez should have thought a little longer before pushing all in at that point. I mean, Aguad did raise before him, and when you're facing a player who has raised in front of you, just automatically pushing all in with ace-queen is not necessarily the right play.
Well, Aguad is going to call, and Aguad is way ahead. As you can see from the percentages, 74% Aguad favorite. Valdez, 26% dog here, and the pot is just over 30,000 in chips. Valdez in real bad shape.
Yeah, he'll have to hit one of the 3 remaining queens in the deck or get some sort of a straight or flush.
Both players standing up.
Vamos, chiquitita!
And chiquititas in Spanish means little ones. Aguad is asking for some small cards.
Vamos, Maria Jose, chiquita!
Aguad rooting for the small cards there. 10-9-3, couple of clubs out there. No help from Valdez.
Absolutely not. That's a great flop for Aguad. Now he just has to clear the turn in the river.
Valdez with only a 15% chance to survive.
Chiquitita!
Well, the 6 of hearts is good news for Aguad, and Valdez's tournament life is down to 1 card. He needs a queen and only a queen. And there it is. It's the queen of spades. Unbelievable how cruel poker can be.
Absolutely, David. Look, I've been there before. When that 3-outer comes with 1 card to go, oh, your heart sinks.
And Jarius Aguad down under 6,000 chips there.
But
and
still
of course,
alive.
He's still alive. Good point. But, of course, Valdez, with just over 30,000 chips, he's got new life. Aguad still smiling and talking with Gomez, who's been playing this game long enough to know that you can never be sure what the next card's going to bring. Here are the rules for No Limit Texas Hold'em. Each player is first dealt 2 down cards. A round of betting then occurs as each player decides the first time if they are in or they are out. Then come the 5 community cards. First the flop, then the turn, and finally the river, with a round of betting after each. In the end, the best 5-card combination wins the hand and takes the pot.
Here are the hand rankings. The big granddaddy of them all, the royal flush, you can't lose with that hand, followed by the straight flush, 4 of a kind, full house, and a flush. Up next, the straight, 3 of a kind, 2 pair, and of course, 1 pair. Now, if you don't even have a pair, the highest card in the hand wins.
And as we just saw in the prior hands, things can change very quickly.
Yes.
To the outer tables, where World Series of Poker bracelet winner Maria Stern sits at the same table as Veronica de Boule. She appears to be collecting a pot. Definitely a good start to the day for Veronica.
And you know this woman can play. She's the only woman to cash in consecutive years at the World Series of Poker main event.
Over to another Argentinian, Leo Fernandez, who began this day with a very short stack, just over 9,000 in chips. He's got his work cut out for him, but he doesn't appear to be too concerned about it right now. And, of course, there is El Tiburon, the shark, Humberto Brenes, letting us know that he and his son, Jose, are indeed out of the tournament. But thumbs up for his youngest son, 18-year-old Roberto Brenes. He's still in it. And he's watching Vincenzo Gianelli, who has a chance to eliminate Craig Boucher. Craig Boucher has re-raised all in with pocket threes. And Gianelli, of course, called with pocket kings.
And that's a mistake you'll see a lot of beginners make. They look down, and regardless of the prior action, they see a pair, and they think they have to go all in. But pocket threes is not the hand you want to do that with.
And obviously, as you can see, Gianelli way ahead of Boucher. Boucher is going to need to spike a three, and you can see the percentages are not in Boucher's favor. The dealer doles at the flop, and there's a king. Gianelli hits a set of kings, and Boucher is really behind the eight ball now. He's going to have to catch running cards to make a straight, or running spades to make a flush. Here's the turn. It's the ace of diamonds, and that gives Boucher some outs.
It's one of those runner possibilities. He now has a 5 for a straight, 4 cards in the deck to help him, about 9%.
Well, the river is the queen of diamonds, not going to help him out, and Boucher is out. He is out of the tournament right now. Gianelli picks up 26,750 chips. Go to the 46-year-old who hails from Caracas, Venezuela, father of 3. He is in much better shape than he was just a couple of seconds ago. Back to our feature table. Button in front of Fabio Jamil.
These players are probably finding themselves at a televised feature table for the first time. It's got to be nerve-wracking.
Well, there's Valdez. He's not going to play it. And over to Beto Bari, the Arsenal fan, not going to play his hand. And Leandro Balachin. Well, those are the Cowboys. I think he likes it. Blinds are 600 and 1,200. Now, he asks how much Aguad has. Now, Aguad is short stacked in the big blind. Why is he asking that?
He probably wants to make sure he doesn't raise too much. He doesn't want to scare Aguad away from going all in here, because that's a move a lot of short stacks are going to consider when a late position player like Balochin puts in a raise.
So is he acting weak to
Yes.
almost induce the play?
Absolutely.
Well, it's worked to a T here, because look at this. Aguad has moved all in with 9-3 of diamonds.
It's not a technically incorrect play there, but, you know, Balochin with the 2 kings, of course, is going to make the call. Which puts Aguad for his tournament life in a pretty rough spot. Just a 17% chance to survive.
He is going to need an absolute miracle, or he is going to be out of this tournament. We saw him lose earlier with the ace-king to the ace-queen. That was a tough blow, and here he's put his money in bad. There's 1-3, and look at that, 2 threes. There are some chiquititas.
That's a miracle flop for Aguad.
A set of threes.
And Leandro Balachin is going to need a king and only a king, or Aguad is going to double through. And just like that, Aguad is back in this tournament, huh?
Absolutely, and now with the 2 of diamonds on the turn, Balochin is down to just 5% to have his better hand hold up.
Well, here's the river. It's the 10 of clubs. It's not going to happen.
That's why we love poker. Any 2 cards can win, and, you know, that's the thing that keeps it exciting.
And Aguad almost embarrassed to take the chips. He is up over 13,000 now, and he is back in the saddle and ready to rock and roll. Welcome back to Chile and the LAPT Viña del Mar. And if you're interested in playing in Argentina, log on to PokerStars.net and learn how to qualify for the LAPT Mar del Plata. And on the outer tables, we've got a big hand brewing between Damian Salas and chip leader Nicolas Perez. To the river, it's the king of diamonds. And Damian Salas moves all in for about 34,000 chips, putting the heat back on the chip leader Nicolas Perez.
And I like his move there with a new high card on the river, the king. That's got to be scary for his opponent, who probably can't make the call.
And Perez gives it up, and we might have a new chip leader here. Damian Salas up over 100,000 chips now.
At this phase of the tournament, that's a strong stack.
And indeed, we do have a new chip leader. Damian Salas up over 160,000 in chips. Very impressive at this stage of the tournament. Humberto Brenes looks on. he watches his son, Roberto Brenes.
Who is not the guppy you might expect an 18-year-old player to be. He grew up as a member of the Brenes family, which probably prepared him well for situations just like this.
Well, he's going to need every edge at this table because he's been put to the test by Gianelli. It's really an interesting play here. Originally, Gianelli just called. Then there was a raise by Stefan de Boon and a re-raise by Brenes, but now Gianelli has moved all in, and that's what Brenes is wondering.
What kind of a hand would you smooth call with initially and then push all in over a raise and a re-raise? Really kind of a strange play.
Well, here he asks him, he says, so you only called, right? Gianelli says it's only a call, and then Brenes goes, I don't like that at all. Well, what is Gianelli representing here?
You know, I'm in the boat with the young poker player Brenes here. I wouldn't know what to do, but wow, he shows an ace-king laydown. That's a huge laydown.
And Gianelli shows him the tens, and that it would have been a coin flip.
And I don't know why Brenes decided to show the big laydown with the ace-king. That's probably too much information to give the other players at the table. They'll probably use it in the future and put a lot of pressure on Brenes to make big laydowns.
And Gianelli, like everybody else at the table, is taking notes. And Roberto decides to talk things over with his father.
Don't worry, he'll come back.
So a bump in the road for the 18-year-old who's looking to continue the Brenes poker legacy. One that can be described as boisterous.
Mi papá lo conocen como el tiburón, the shark. Mi papá es una persona muy divertida. Yo vengo de una familia de jugadores de póker. Están mis tíos y mi papá que tienen mucho tiempo de estar jugando.
Suerte, gracias. En mi casa, yo creo que los traemos en la sangre, pero además de eso, teníamos un padre que estaba dispuesto a enseñarles.
Tener a mi papá de maestro es muy bueno porque me ha permitido aprender rápidamente lo que él sabe, lo que él practica, y me parece muy bonito.
Roberto dice que un día esto me gana.
Papi no lo admite, pero yo la paleo.
Vamos a ver cuándo. Todavía no me he ganado una sola final. Maizón. En el océano hay campo para más tiburones, claro que sí.
Ahorita lo que me debería conseguir es un pececito de juguete con luz, pero en algún momento tendré un tiburón. Algún día le voy a ganar.
Young Roberto is not the only Brenes child who plays poker. Brother Jose also played in this tournament, but was eliminated earlier. And believe it or not, their sister plays poker as well.
There's the trophy that Roberto and all of the remaining players would love to walk away with. Action continues now at the feature table with Beto Bari. 46-year-old toy maker from Buenos Aires. He looks down at ace-king and decides how is he going to play this one. The blinds are still 600, 1200 with a 100 ante, and he raises it up to 4600.
That's a standard raise at this point in the tournament. He'd probably like some action with the ace-king.
And the action is over to Jirius Aguad. He's got ace-9 of spades, and he's going to move all in right away here. He re-raises it up to 14,850. Is this a mistake, Vanessa?
You know, it's quite a substantial re-raise, but here's the problem. We've seen Aguad make a move or two so far in prior hands, and so he risks a call here. But of course, Bari with the ace-king will make the call. But even if he were a little weaker, even ace-queen or ace-jack, he might have called. So I'm not sure I like Aguad's move with the ace-9 there.
Well, indeed, Bari did call there, and he's going to like what he sees. He's a 2-to-1 favorite there. You can look at the percentages, and Bari at 68%, Aguad only at 32%. And Aguad here looking for a 9 or spades. And that's a good start there. Deuce of spades. 4-4 deuce with a couple of spades. Great flop for Aguad.
Absolutely. You know, there's 9 more spades left in the deck, and also Aguad can pick up one of the 3 remaining 9s, and that puts him in the lead at 54% to 46% for Bari, and the 8 of spades will seal the deal for Aguad.
And Bari is drawing dead. You can tell by the check mark next to Aguad's name. And just like that, he's got over 32,000 in chips. Just a little while ago, he was on death's doorstep.
Looks like it's been a lucky day for the local.
And he is dancing, he is singing, obviously.